Hi everyone, this is Elise Terzian, and today I'm going to be going through assignment 2 build language understanding parts for your chatbot, which is project Milestone 1. So in the last assignment, in this assignment, we had to modify the previous components, which were a domain classifier, 2 intent classifiers, which were originally weather and food, and slot fillers, which originally extracted the city names and times for the user message. So in this assignment, we had to take 3 components. We had to make these 3 components work in our own domains this time. And our intents and slots all had to work with our own new ones that we created. The new domains I made are course transportation and once again other. So you can see the course intent classifier. If we go to the domain classifier, we have other, transportation, and course. I basically just modified the original code, changing the keywords all around. So my new intents for transportation are, we can see transportation options, find ticket, and check traffic conditions. And then we have specific keywords for each intent. And then for course, over here, we have course schedule, course content, and course instructor, and then the new keywords for those intents. And then for my slot fillers, I wanted to make them apply for both. So I did location name and then duration here. So let's run this code. Go over to the main. I originally had it random, the intents, and that was not guaranteeing the right intents, but I corrected that, which I'll show you in the code. But so let's just ask the question, what car will you take to the hub? So we can see the domain is transportation, the intent is transportation options, and the slot filler, which is the location name, which is hub, and it's in the form of a cache or a hash table. I apologize. And also, he said a little in the assignment we didn't have to go off based what our original reasoning for our chatbot was, but I kind of went off of it, and my original intent was for the chatbot to be first student, so this kind of works along those lines also. And okay, so I'm going to ask another question. This is asking for the transportation, and hub is one of the location names. So now let's do location, but for course. So my English class is in the Bouquet building. Okay, so we can see the domain is course, the intent is course schedule, location name Bouquet. And then, yeah, we can see it's no longer random, and the slot filler is in the hash table format. So now let's use the other slot filler, which is duration. I'm just going to use course again. Or let's use transportation first. So my walk to class is 15 minutes. Okay, we can see the domain is transportation, intent is transportation options, and the duration is 15 minutes. And then let's do the same thing using the duration slot filler, but using the courses. So I have a coding class that is 1 hour So we get the domain, course intent, course schedule, and domain 15 minutes. It's interesting. I actually did put 1 hour and 15 minutes, but we're just getting that. Okay, let's bring this back over here. And then if we want to get crazy, I'm going to incorporate both. My biology class is in the Thomas building is 55 minutes long. Okay, we can see domain is course, intent is course schedule, and the location name is Thomas, duration is 55 minutes. So that actually got both slots, which I think is pretty cool. And yeah, that's basically the functions of my chatbot. So let's go through the code. So let's start with the domain classifier. And the domain classifier's job is to determine basically the category, the broad category or domain of the user's message. And in this case, the domains are transportation and course, and then other as well. And it has a dictionary of the known domains. So basically, it uses simple keywords, which we have entered here, and it's the keyword matching that assigns a score to each domain based on the user's input. So if the user entered train, it might increase the score for the transportation domain. And the domain with the highest score is selected as the messages domain, and the information is used to basically route the message to the appropriate intent classifier. So this is it from the domain classifier. And if we go over to the course intent classifiers, so once the domain is identified from the user message, it is then passed to the corresponding intent classifier. And it determines a specific intent or action the user wants to perform within that domain. And then each domain has its own intent classifier that has a dictionary. So each of these intent classifiers for course, it has basically the dictionary or a string of arrays, which are the keywords to basically identify which intent they will be assigned to. And then finally, the slot filler. If we go back over, these are my new slot fillers. The location name, and both of these are universal, so they work for both. But the slot filler is responsible for extracting specific pieces of information or slots, hence the name slot filler, from the user message. And these slots are key value pairs actually that provide additional details relevant to the intent. So that's why the classification of the user message is so detailed at this point in time. So yeah, basically that is my own version of the domain and intent classifiers as well as the slot filler. So thank you. Have a good one.